the very top that is running all of our lives and just keeping us all down. It's the Vatican. The Vatican is the apex of everything. The Vatican has got to be destroyed. We're talking rods of God. We're talking just level it. What the Vatican has done is they have done lots of. They've kept us down for so long that there was the Sale of Trust of 1666, and that's when the whole birth certificates, came into play, and they were, they wanted possession of all the bodies on Earth, all the humans. Now, there was a post 312, and it says USSS code for name for Hussein. And then it says R in a kill box. And it says define, they knew all along, expand thinking. Well, when the R was in the kill box, we thought that it meant renegade. It didn't. It's Rome. It's exactly what it is. Now, below that, it says who currently protects Hussein. Same thing. R in a kill box. It says, why is this relevant? Who currently protects B/H space C? Why is this relevant? Learn. Well, we learned. And when we learned, it's going to get very just. You know how everybody goes to the Vatican and they're all like, oh, the Pope, it's the Pope, oh, the whole Roman Catholic religion, because religions were only created to divide.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We don't need any religion. None. Because if we all believed in our creator, our prime creator, the all source, what does it matter about everybody else? You have ascended masters up, and everybody's like, oh, that sounds like so, that's not religion. We don't want religious. We don't want religion. Anywhere you go, you see 15, 20 churches. What is that? You're dividing people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. So with the Vatican, there's a reason why they did the whole the B/H space C. It's a club. Yeah, the Bohemian Club, like Bohemian Grove in California. And then you have the Hellfire Club. That was in England, where they did all the debauchery and sacrificing and everything like that. Well, they just brought them all together. They just brought it over here. Everything came over here, and now you have over in California, you've got them all sacrificing kids and doing all their little things, but it all stems from one thing: corporations. Because all corporations are run through the Vatican. Every corporation.
Every single one.
Yes. All corporations have to run through the Vatican. Now, I don't know if I talked to you about the secret concordat between the Vatican and Hitler back in 1933. Well, in the drops, I don't know if anybody remembers this. There was a picture of they had a bunch of Catholic priests, and then there was a bunch of Nazis, right? Now they're all given the Sieg Heil sign, all of them, the whole picture. It was in the drops. It's like I didn't think of them like Mr. Buddies or something. That was taken after they signed this, because what happened was that created something. That created the Knights of the Holy See. Now, the Knights of the Holy See are indeed the SS. How they wear it on the side of their armband? That's what it is. It's the Knights of the Holy See. Because they are under the Vatican. because the Vatican was never meant to be on the side of good. It was always evil. Always. So now that Concordat was made in 1933, right? Because in the United States, it was a crown colony back then. Well, I mean, you have 1871 and then even way before then. But now the thing about it is that it's all based off Satanism. Every one of these people, they all worship Satan. And even Putin said it. Putin said, hey, they all worship Satan. Because with Putin, they were the Orthodox Christians. Now, it was the year 980 AD, 980 AD, which is 17, which is funny. And because they were big into paganism until then. Until Prince Vladimir the Great, yeah, go figure with that name, he decided to destroy all the pagan statues, everything, and decided to go to Orthodox Christianity. So they all got baptized and everything, and they got rid of all the statues. Well, this is where the whole Perun and Veles. Perun was like the one. There's always been a god, a devil, a yin yang, always. Okay. And Veles was the serpent, and Perun was the one at the top of the oak tree, symbolized by an eagle. And what would come about this is that I don't know if it was so much folklore, but Veles would, climb the tree, and he would steal like one of the cows, one of his children, everything like that. Well, then Perun would get pissed, so they'd have this big war, right? Perun threw lightning bolts at it and everything because the earth and the underworld and the water was Veles. The fire, the air, the fire, air, all that was all controlled by Perun. And if there was like a big battle, that's where you get your thunder and lightning, with its storms. And if it didn't rain, then Veles would have won. Then there was a drought. But when it would start raining, that means Perun won, killed the snake, got his cow or, human or his son or wife back, go back up the tree, and then it would start pouring, start raining. And this is just one of those, like, there's so many folklores. I can't even say they're folklores because, we had giants here. How long have we been here for? We are like midgets in comparison to the entities and the ones that have been here before us. There's been giants everywhere. But how big, when they say consider the vastness of space, the space, it occupies everything with it, what you're in right now. The plane that you're in. So by saying that, that the earth is a spinning ball, well, explain to me how these monsters were just roaming the earth on a spinning ball, and wouldn't that have tipped it over? Or they were massive. You're talking 50, 60, 70 feet tall. And I hate to say it, but when people say, oh, well, the earth is flat, and they laugh at you, ha ha. It's like, well, the joke's going to be on you. Because the problem is that people think that earth, just earth, it's a ball. We do not just live on earth. It's like England. England has 3 names. You have United Kingdom, England, Great Britain. Right? And all three of them, I mean, you can call it all three. Well, who's to say that, where we live can't have three names? You've heard people say Terra, Gaia, all that. It's realms. The first, second, and third dimension is Earth. It's a quarantined Earth with a dome, so that all these sickos, all these reptilians, and all that, they can't get out. They're stuck in here. Now, outside of that dome, you have 456, which is Terra. Right? It's all walls and wheels, just like President Trump says. And then you also have 789, which is outside that, which is Gaia. Now, the reason behind them having a dome on us, it's like, hey, you guys get rid of these lizards and get rid of these reptilians and all that. Once that's all done, we're good to go. Get rid of the firmament, and then you guys can, ascend. It doesn't mean that we're ascending to, we're all moving up. It's just our consciousness and all of our, like everything within us is moving at a higher, like our chakras, because our Christ consciousness, which starts with a K, it's like a Christ consciousness. It's going to move from our root chakra, and it's going to shoot straight up to our crown. It is going to be, this is one of the greatest times to ever be alive here. But we've always been alive. You cannot kill energy. So when people die and everything like that, it was like, oh my God, they're so good. It's like, they're getting a new vehicle. That's it. But, they have the mind wipe and everything like that. But once this happens, we will know who is who. Everybody in your past, everybody you've lost, you will get to know everyone and talk to them. Just the sheer energy and power that is in our brain. What we could do with that is we could recall every single conversation that we have ever had with anybody in our whole existence. Every conversation. That's pretty damn powerful. But which brain do we start out with?
The reptilian brain.
That's it. So we know how the Alpha Draconians, they polluted us. And that's why we had to make peace with the Anunnaki and everything like that. We had to square with them and say, hey, look, we're not slaves anymore. No more slaves. But what we could do is, what if we made you a trade, right? What if we gave you a bunch of slaves, right? Because you can't put these people in life in prison, all these sickos and everything, because, well, what's the point? Because then they would just go up too. But if you turn around and say, hey, just go on, swing the bureau by, and we'll give you them as slaves. Hillary, Bill, all of them. Everyone that has made our lives a living hell all throughout time, give it back to the Anunnaki and let them use them as slaves. Because when you tell somebody you have life in prison, if you're biologically an immortal entity, how long is life? You're immortal. Forever. So it's gonna be one hell of a wild ride. But